So my boss hands me my termination papers, and I am sitting around looking stuck. I am like, where did all this come from? So she sits me down. She tells me exactly why she's terminating me. Um, and I'm still stunned. I can't even utter a word. And she goes, I told you that when we had a conversation the other day with HR over the phone, that for you not to tell anybody anything that we had talked about. Now, mind you, I never went and told them what it was that we were talking about, but I did, in fact, feel like I trusted some of my coworkers that I can kind of just let them know, hey, I'm in heat right now, like not in heat like that, but I'm, I'm in trouble right now and I'm trying to keep my head low. I don't want to lose my job. So if you notice that I'm real quiet and real distant, I don't want you taking any offense. That's all that I said. So when I came in today, she's handing me my termination papers. It just didn't make any sense to me because she says that I was going up to people asking them if they had a problem with me. Do you have a problem with me? Do you have a problem with me? Do you have a problem with me? That's not even what I would have said.
First thing that I want to emphasize to y'all is unless you are trying to level up in corporate America, meaning that you got to do all of the handshaking and the kissing babies, figuratively speaking, and you got to do all of the things that you know hobnobbing, being seen a lot. Go to work, do your job, and go home. Go to work, do your job, and go home. Y'all are doing way too much. Y'all involved with y'all coworker, and I'm not saying don't be cordial, right? Because I know some of y'all so unbalanced, you'll go all the way to the left, right? I'm not saying don't be cordial, but what I am saying is be nice, even if you got problems going on at home, even if you don't want to be there. Be nice, go in there and be a cultural fit, do your job, and go home. All of this extra gossiping, getting, and it's easy. It's super easy to get involved in the BS, right? Because people is over there and they doing a bunch of stuff and you get involved in the plan. Next thing you know, you go out on a team outing and y'all exchange. The job is for this. We got a lot of our identity wrapped up in our jobs. We got a lot of the stuff that we think that we need to be doing wrapped up in our jobs. The job, we're here for this so that we can get resources and then we can do what we want to do off the clock. We're there for this. Also, I want to say something else. When y'all got jobs and stuff, I know that we in the social media era. I know that we in the TikTok era. I know that y'all want to create platforms and be content creators. But let me tell you this. One of the reasons why I was liberal Anton before I retired in 2019, one of the reasons, and this is the honest to God truth, and I was very careful, and I didn't even start After Hours or the Millionaire Morning Show or start to have panels or do real conversations until after I retired, is because I had to get to the bag and I had to reserve the bag. I had to make sure that I had the ability to reach my dreams, invest in everything I needed to invest in, preserve the bag, and all of this extra junk, I cut that out. I even knew that they recruited me based off of my social media presence. So I had to make sure that I was very strict and very careful on what I would say and what I didn't say, especially when you get to certain levels in corporate America, even when you're down at the bottom, because you do not have control. And y'all really need to understand that they can terminate you for any reason, especially if you say something that's not in alignment with what it is that they got going on. A lot of y'all jumping on camera, you get on there with your work uniform, y'all be doing a day in the life, and they firing people. This is not the time to be playing games. This is not the time to be playing games. Once I went all the way left, I mean all the way in, I knew it was no return. I am very much in a position and prepared to never work a regular job ever again. And if somebody recruits me like they did when I did my second stint in corporate America, they understand who I am. They knew what it is that they're getting into. And I'm prepared for them to say, you know what, Anton, we recruited you, but at the same time, it's a little bit much. We can't really handle what you're doing in our climate, in our current climate. They even asked me in my last position if I wanted to level up and I wanted to get into an executive rank position again. And I said no, because I don't want to have that. I say some stuff. I say stuff that's not politically correct. I say stuff that's not politically correct. So y'all need to do y'all jobs and go home.
And that's not what I said. And so when I told her that, she kind of just ignored it. She, you know, she kind of waved me off. And HR kind of chimed in and was like, yeah, you're not going to be a good fit here. So let me tell you why I got fired. Okay. The reason why I got fired is because I've realized over the years that I do not work well with others and that I was made to be an entrepreneur. I am not made to punch in somebody's clock, punch out. People tell me when to take a lunch, when not to, what to wear at work, what not to wear. I'm not made for that. I am stubborn. I am hard to deal with, but through my company, they have an EAP program, and I've requested to talk to a counselor because I know that I'm the issue. I know it is. But what do you do if you have to interact with coworkers who have nasty attitudes?
I've seen these type of people 1,000 times. I've seen these type of people get fired and let go 1,000 times. 1,000 times out of 1,000. Matter of fact, I'll do you one better. I've seen these type of people get on PIPs, performance improvement programs. I have sent people to HR in my time because I'm not dealing with the foolishness. We too old. You too old you too old at 20. You too old at 30. You way too old at 40 to be sitting there talking about I don't work well with people. And you know, it's always that excuse. I'm not meant to punch a clock. Shut that shit up. I'm not going for that. I don't believe nobody. And when I say nobody, I don't believe anybody that says that I'm not too good to punch or you know what I meant. I'm not meant to punch a clock. I'm meant to do my own thing. Let me tell you what that translates into. That means I don't get along with people, and I wouldn't be good as an entrepreneur either because that is more people focused and front facing and customer service than even dealing with people on a regular job. And because I don't want to work on myself or my bad attitude and my gossiping, then I'm just going to say I'm not meant to work in corporate America, and I'm just a difficult person to work with. I'm not meant to punch nobody's clock. You know what punching the clock means? It means that I can make money. It means that I get benefits. It means that I get a 401k. It means that I get healthcare coverage. That's all punching the clock means to me. I can punch a clock or I can do my own thing. Either way. But my point is that there is no barrier to entry for me going to get the bag. My identity is not wrapped up in what I do for a living. My identity is wrapped up in how I extract the bag and what it is that I trade my time for. I'm not caught up in this, what's your position, what you do for a living, none of that type of stuff. When people say, Anton, you need to be humble, they talking about the way that I talk on this internet stuff. In life, I will shovel rubber dog doo-doo. I will drive an Uber. I don't care what I need to do to put myself in a position to get a bag. I'm always going to try to level up, but let's be clear. I'm exchanging time for resources. All of that other stuff is that social norm, social media nonsense that y'all caught up in. My job is to make sure that my daughter goes to school and she can get her college paid for and that the house is paid off and I ain't got no debt. All of that other stuff, somebody says, stop lying. Boy, I just retired for a second time from corporate America in 2024, at the end of 2024. When everybody told me that, oh man, I can't believe you taking a position in corporate America again. I can't believe you getting a job. Nigga, who too good for a job? If there's one person on the internet that will definitely do what I got to do to go and get the bag, it's me. It's you know who the people are that's so caught up in positions? It's the poorest people. The poorest people are the ones that have the biggest perspective on they'll tell you what they ain't gonna do. The poorest people are the ones that will tell you what they not gonna do. I ain't, bruh. When I opened up when I first opened up my first restaurant, I worked it too. I was down in the back. I would put an apron on. I would change the oil, the fryer oil, taking orders, putting pans in, seasoning chicken. Man, I do it, man. What you talking about? I don't have no pride at all. Even when it comes to this content creation stuff, a lot of people be like, man, how many people you got working for you? You see somebody in here? Is it something I'm not familiar with? Me, my book bag, my laptop, cell phone. I ain't got no big equipment. Man, how do you film your videos like this? With the back camera? What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate y'all for continuing to rock with me. Man, we out here in these streets. That's how I film my videos. Back camera. What's going on is that, man, I don't. It's Nipsey Hussle over here. All money in, no money out. All money in, no money out. How do you get it? Me. What are you going to do? Me, work, grind, hustle, go get to it. It's always the brokest people that's afraid to get their hands dirty or going to tell you what it is that they ain't going to do.
Like, I know that I take things personally because I do. I take everything that comes my way personal. I live my life in a respectable manner. I approach people with respect. The only way that I disrespect you is if you're disrespectful to me first. That is the only way. Also, another thing that I've realized too, the people that I work with are in their 20s. I'm in my 40s.
What does that mean?
They have not lived. They don't know anything about life yet. They're just getting into the real world. They don't.
You know what else I realized too? I realized that it's some smart young people. It's some smart young people. I'll give y'all a secret. I got a 17-year-old daughter. For the past 5 years, on a lot of the different ideas that I come up with, especially even when it comes to content creation or when it comes to making a move and stuff, one of the first people I tap into is I go to my daughter. Hey, Les, I got this idea. What do you think? Me and my daughter came up with a new idea yesterday. Well, actually, we came up with it before, but we started to work on it. Before I took my flight here, we were working on putting together a customization shop for cars. And we was talking about how she would probably oversee the day-to-day. I would oversee the marketing aspect of it. It's some smart young people, bro. It's some smart young people. Bruh, a good idea is a good idea. A smart move is a smart move. A wise person is a wise person. I don't limit nothing. Nothing. Y'all ain't even lived life. Yeah, you ain't lived life when it came to being able to tell me about a relationship. But as far as your ability to be able to put that project together or, you know what I'm saying, come up with a great idea when it comes to what it is that we doing on this work type stuff. I don't know. I'm all ears. I'm all ears. You might not be able to tell me how give me a life coach because you're 23, but you definitely can tell me how to do my job more effectively. if you got some insight. 100%. 100%.
Know anything about life. So they wouldn't even be able to comprehend. But I will say, for my own sake, no, I don't work well in a team environment. No, I don't like pettiness. When I say pettiness, I'm talking about smiling in your face, talking about you behind your back, and people who throw rocks and glass houses. I don't like people like that. Those two personality types, I cannot.
I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. All right. So long story short, just put the fries in a bag, and let's keep it moving from there. Because if y'all get to the point where you saying throwing rocks in a glass house and stuff like that, you've already shared too much of your personal life with your coworkers. Um, I shouldn't know nothing about you. I shouldn't know about what your eating habits are. I don't want to know what your sexuality is. I don't want to know how many kids you got. I don't want to know nothing, honestly. I'm not even going to share anything. You're not going to know anything about me. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Just put the fries in a bag and let's keep it moving. But my point is that y'all going to have to be able to separate your personal life from your work life. Separate. Women got this bad and y'all getting let go, y'all getting fired, and they not having no mercy on y'all, and they don't care about how you feel about it. And you are going to be putting those fries in a bag. Y'all better